What's up, YouTube? Welcome to the Coffee Pod. My name is Chisha Zed.
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
We've got to touch on this. Somebody sent this to me a while back. I knew I had to get on this as soon as I had the opportunity. This shit's crazy, bro. We cannot ignore this. This cannot be ignored. This has to be addressed now. So the caption reads, woman continues to care for ex-husband following traumatic brain injury alongside new husband. That's right, alongside new husband. Now listen, gentlemen, I need to know, is she out of pocket for this? Is this woman out of pocket? Keep it real. No more wasting time. Let's get it.
I don't understand, bro. This is so messed up. I wouldn't wish this on my worst enemy. This girl right here and this guy were high school sweethearts, right? Everything going great between them until, bam, this man got T-boned by a commercial truck. Y'all know how big them things are? He was within an inch of his life. He slipped into a coma for 2 months and could never function the same. After staying by his bedside for months, she decided she didn't want to do it anymore and she filed for divorce.
Months, not years, months. Let that sink in. Filed for divorce. He might be lying. Hold on. I got to make sure. He might be lying just for clicks and views. Can't trust content creators, man. Can't trust content creators. Let's see what Google has to say. Quick search, woman cares for ex-husband. Okay, Christine Armstrong opened up about her family's unique situation in multiple videos posted on her TikTok. Oh shit. We might want to go check out her TikTok. And how in 2008, while married to her then husband and her school sweetheart, Brandon Smith, for 2 years, Smith was involved in a catastrophic accident that forever altered not only his life, but hers as well. In a video on her account, hell, they got the video right here. Let's hear it from the horse's mouth. Oh, the coffee pod's getting exciting, ladies and gentlemen. The coffee is getting hot. All right, so I found the original video. We'll hear her tell the story from the horse's mouth. It says, story time, part 1, how my husband became my brother. It's worse than the narration. It's worse than the original video. What a title. How my husband became my brother. Yo, let's listen.
Brandon was 15 and I was 16 when we met in high school. We fell in love and it was one for the books, full of handwritten notes, inside jokes, hand-burned CDs, and all the things that a first love encompasses. On August 12, 2006, we said our vows and promised to love each other always. 2 years later, when Brandon was 23 and I was 24, he was T-boned by a moving truck. He sustained a severe traumatic brain injury and was in a coma for 2 months. He worked so hard to try and regain simple things that we all take for granted. Brandon now needs...
Unfortunate. And the good things that he's been taken care of, right? Let's keep listening.
Needs total care. He needs help eating, toileting, dressing, transferring. He has a difficult time communicating and has a lot of short-term memory issues. After 2 years of grieving and heartbreak, I made the heart-wrenching decision to move on. I longed...
2 years. I'm glad we verified that. It's 2 years. Not a couple of months, or, you know, maybe he meant 24 months. I don't know. But, you know, it definitely made it sound like it was some months. But listen, this is still strange. There's a reason why this story was making headlines. It's still strange, the direction that this went. Let's keep watching.
Longed for a family, children, a partner. But I knew that I would always love Brandon and wanted to honor my vows of caring and loving for him through sickness and in health. It's been almost 15 years. I've been his legal guardian and advocate since then. Now our relationship looks different. Several years ago, he randomly started calling me little sis. I think the word brother now better defines our relationship. I will always carry his heart in my heart.
Okay, so after some time, he randomly started calling her little sis. Now, I don't know what that is, guys. I'm no medical doctor here. In fact, someone could actually make the argument that, hey, this guy does not know what's going on. But again, I think it's the principle, and everyone's thinking, well, why didn't you just stay with him? Because what would he think? Maybe this is something he was okay with. But these are conversations you can't possibly have because no one expects life to go in this direction. Let's keep this conversation caffeinated. The reason why most people are shocked by this story is because they probably would expect her to not get remarried and stay loyal with her man. Now, I'm not saying she's wrong or right in this situation. I'm just curious to know you guys' opinion here. But this is a tough thing. Do you want your woman to be by herself and not smash anybody else for the rest of her life and stay to herself? Or would you want her to get married? Comment down below. Since that was part 1, I'm sure there's a part 2 somewhere around here. So I'm going to see if I can find that so I can play it for you guys. All right, so I found part 2, and this second part is a video of how she met her new husband who's helping take care of the ex-husband. No more wasting time. Let's get it.
I met James online in 2014 and was very upfront about Brandon and the sacred place he had in my life. James listened to my story and without skipping a beat said, "I'm in." For some reason, he decided that it was a beautiful story and that he wanted to be a part of it. The day I met James, I met his 5-year-old son, who I immediately fell in love with. The next day, James met Brandon. We took Brandon to church that day. I went to the bathroom and came back to see James's arm comfortably around Brandon. At that moment, I knew what my future held. That Christmas, I decorated for the first time since Brandon's accident. My life had been dark and isolating. James and his son brought light back into my days and breathed air into my life. On the day we got married, my vows included a promise to love my stepson as my own, and James promised to love Brandon as his own. Since then, James has continued to show kindness, compassion, and love for Brandon. When we bring him home or take him out, James helps with transfers, changing Brandon when needed, and assists with helping him eat. Brandon doesn't say many things that are on topic or that make sense much these days, but the day he told James they should grab a beer together, I knew there was a connection. Brandon just has more people to love him now. Our family has grown, and for that, I am so grateful.
All right, guys, that's it. Listen, with the music in the background and the photos and everything kind of put together, this sounds like some sort of like romance movie. I wasn't planning to read the comments from her actual account, but I can only imagine how they're going to sound, and they probably will support this type of situation. I don't know, man. So here, I see things from both sides. I understand not wanting your wife to be locked into a situation that she doesn't want to be in. If she was to never get remarried, she might be lonely, right? But then there's that other coin where people are saying, well, you chose him and everything that might happen to him in the future, and you shouldn't have left. I think at the end of the day, this just comes down to each person's personal take on the situation. But it's very obvious that if you read the comments from the women, they're different from the men. For example, her comments, and I'll just read a few here. This woman who says they look like they could pass for brothers, right? Somebody else here says highest form of humanity, all of you, right? Somebody else here says crying. So this is a movie shit. Right? Some chick shit that you watch with your girl and you're like, this would never happen in real life, babe. And here we are on the Coffee Pod reality. Let's check out another comment here that says your commitment to Brandon shows the love you have to offer, right? Somebody else here added, why am I bawling my eyes out? I also love that you referred to him as your former husband, not ex. Beautiful family and compassion that goes miles. And somebody else here says, you are clearly a significant woman who attracts equally beautiful humans, right? And then you had other comments from other people. For example, like this comment that says, I'd rather be put down like a sick horse than go through this. Somebody else here says, hold on. Okay, that's got to be some type of torture. And another person says, I do actually wish this on my worst enemies. Laugh out loud. That's the point. Somebody else here says, what did he do to deserve that? And another person says, I still find it crazy that we call incapacitated people vegetables. I imagine a giant carrot on a hospital bed with a dead emoji. Somebody else here says, bro, probably be in the next room listening to the headboard hitting the wall, crying himself to sleep. Yo, his comments so wild. Then I saw other comments like, oh, she just wanted to keep the check, you know, for taking care of him, and what happened to death do us part. So obviously, no matter where you stand in this situation, there are people who be like, no, I don't want my woman getting remarried. And you might call that selfish. And there are other people who say, you know what? I don't think I should tie somebody down to me if I'm in this state. What do you guys think? Another comment here says, hey, bro, you got to log off after this. In response to the last guy with the bust in the cheeks and the headboard comment. Yeah, it's just, I mean, can't make this shit up. Another comment here says, at least he's been taken care of, hopefully well. That is true. Could be a situation where if she wasn't with him, he might have to go into some care home or something like that. And I'll be honest with you guys, as somebody who's worked in these care homes and some of these senior citizen homes, which do sometimes house people who are in this type of a position, you get a whole lot of random people taking care of you, and not all of them are kind. Not all of them are gonna care for you the same way like they would in here. Here's another comment that says he had to be a demon in the past life. Listen, guys, that's it. That's all the comments we have for this video. As always, I'm curious to know, what do you guys think? Comment down below. What do you think of this whole situation, this whole story? As always, I appreciate you for checking out yet another episode of The Coffee Pod. Till next time, I'm out. Peace.